Okay, so we have seen using React in a browser, and we are going on we are on the way to use React server side using Node.js, and we have seen the Node.jsx. To use JSX, we need a Babel, which is a transpiler or also transcompiler, which is called, which translates JSX and even other advanced ECMAScript syntax that is not available in browser into browser understandable JavaScript. So, uh, see, do we have node modules? I have node modules. Okay. So just if I delete, we can delete node modules, and like I've mentioned, I have mentioned many times, we should not commit the node modules, and we should include that into git ignore. That is what we did. We did them. We don't need a package.log.json as well. We have added them to git. Now, uh, you can see here we have a couple of dependencies: React DOM, Babel, webpack. Okay, since they are already, I have mentioned in the previous video, we have seen how to use npm and npm install save dev, and what are dependencies, what are dev dependencies. If I simply type npm install, what happens? It will automatically install, node modules will be auto created, and it will install whatever is created. And you can see here a lot of things are created, but we have in fact only 4 dependencies: React DOM, Babel, but all of them are available because these are uh, dependencies, indirected dependencies for our dependency. Now, to use Babel, we need a Babel CLI. Okay, so let me, if you want to uninstall anything, what you will do, how you can uninstall: npm uninstall just Babel. Okay, so instead of Babel, we can install, there is a npm. If you want, and if you want to search anything, you can search using npm Babel. Okay, so let's find out what is available for Babel. It is taking quite long time. Yeah. Okay, so this is not exhaustive list. This is not a complete list. Okay, so if you want, you can go to npm site and you can search there, but this is not a complete list. This is just some of the dependencies that are matched with Babel. So what do we need? We need this. Later, previously there was a Babel, and Babel is like a, but now we have a Babel core and Babel CLI. We need to install both of them. See, here it is available. What is written here? It is just it's like a key. Babel is like a placeholder package that usually it is, we need to install here Babel core and Babel CLI. So we need a CLI to use that in our command line. So npx, there is another command I have explained, npx space. If I use Babel, so what it does, it checks the local node modules. If it is not available, it will auto install that, as well as it will allow us to use command from node modules. As you can see, if I type node modules, need to install the following packages, Babel, it says, okay. Okay, and you see here, there's a complaint here, npm uninstall. There's a complaint that one is Babel, the Babel package has been deprecated in a favor of Babel CLI. So that is what I was explaining. So it was deprecated. So this is a complaint. So this is another benefit of npm. It actually compels us to keep our packages up to date. And let me uninstall npm uninstall Babel. Npm install save dev Babel CLI. Okay, so what do you see? What are these? These are all other dependencies. So those are also being installed here. Now I install npm install @Babel core. Okay, in fact, it is not a uh, production dependency, so we don't need that thing to be there. So we can just cut there and put it here because I haven't used save there while installing it. And we have learned Babel RC. You can see here preset here. So we need to install the preset React as well. So it is not there. You can search npm search Babel preset. You see, can you see here the multiple presets available? What do we need here? We need a React. npm. Why do see that preset is contains a logic or a syntax that Babel understands how to transfer given JSX. Do you understand? Or given React code. So Babel comes with a core logic, but it needs a presets to understand different syntaxes. So suppose you need a ECMAScript very latest 2020. Again, you need a corresponding preset such that it will understand uh, according to the given preset. So if I use it will try to use that preset. It will try to if I use the Babel command npx Babel, okay, and index.js and destination directory disk. It will complain that we have seen yesterday the preset is not available. Let's install that. npm install save dev, okay, Babel preset React, okay. Now try that command. Okay, so this is the problem. I think we have installed the old one here, Babel CLI. Let's reinstall that one. And so you can see here versions here version. This is what it is complaining. Yeah, yesterday same thing happened. Let's check. Npm uninstall Babel. Yeah. Okay, npm install Babel. Sorry, Babel CLI. I can give here also. Okay. Doesn't mean that you have to provide there save dev right after install. You can provide that option. Now just let me try that command if it works. Yeah, it is working. You can see. Okay. Now you see this one is created. We got this file. Now, okay, we have this thing. What else we need? We have webpack. Okay, let's come to uh okay, now let's see what happens. See what let me write some code here. We have HTML. Okay. Here we have node modules list, and this is by convention we put the source in a source folder, right? And put that index.js inside source. Now you can import yeah, import React from React. Okay. Import React DOM from React. Okay. Now class hello message extends react.component render. Okay, just render. This is just some directly rendering div hello to wall. Okay, react observer. Okay, now now how to let's get our HTML. The way do you put, usually we put our files in a public directory. That in a public directory we put HTML and CSS file. So I created that HTML file, and let me create a okay. Let me create here content for that. ID equal to root or app, whatever. Now I want this thing to be loaded. Please listen carefully here. We are okay, and now I want that React DOM dot render. Okay, this is just this is where we use that React DOM and get element by ID. Everywhere else we don't use get element by ID. The most of the cases, unless it is required. So if you are using anything, get element by ID, get element by tag name, get query, or get query selector, it means that you are not using React properly. It is declarative syntax. You don't have to use any JavaScript. You don't have to get any element by ID or a class name or a query selector. You can control anything with the props and state. And remember, unless it is required, unless it is demanding, you don't have to use get element by ID in this job. And remember, again, if you are using, you are not properly making use of React. You are using this. But here, to render the React element, we need to get the root element. So what do you want to hello message? Hello message. Okay. And then what do you want to, what is the container element? Document dot get element by ID. It means it is a JavaScript. It means every JavaScript code, everything that you write in a regular JavaScript file is a valid in this ReactJS. It is not something. It is not alien language, but we use it is a JavaScript, but it is declarative, and we use the JS. And what is the element with their root? Okay. Now let's rerun this. Rerun this test. Okay. Babel. Okay, it is saying it doesn't exist because I need to provide the proper src path. Src. Okay. Now it is done. It is compiled properly, and it took 139 milliseconds. And let me go there and check. Can you see this transpiled code? Okay. And so if I open this in a browser HTML, I'll get an error. It will not show anything. So what is it like when you are writing? Remember, when you are writing in a code using Node, you use bundlers, task runners, other transpilers, many things you would use. But using them, Uh, During development, we use the live server, we use the hard reload. Will come across those things in a moment. But when you distribute, when you want to deploy, you will create a distributable code where, so usually we put that in a disk directory, which means that we place this directory itself in a server. Okay, so in a server, now let's here we have, okay, this, and we have JS. That is not enough. We need to copy this index.html, copy this. We need that thing in a disk as well, because without, if you distribute just a JavaScript, what's the what you can do with the just JavaScript without HTML? Okay, I copied there HTML, I'm pasting it here. Okay, but if I let me copy this path, copy path, and let me go to browser. Just let me enter that, and you see nothing here. Okay, so you see nothing there. Uh, why? Why do you see nothing there? Of course, I haven't loaded that JS file. Okay, so I need to put that thing. The best place to place it there, you might experience some error if you place it script here. src equal to index.js. Okay, because this script might load. By the time script is loaded, uh, these elements might not be available. So best place is to load this script is just before the body tag, and just go and let me refresh. And what is happening to, we need to know what is going on. For that, just go to inspect and check console. You will see some error. Cannot use the import statement outside the module. Okay. Okay, so there is some error, there is something going on here outside the module. It is not valid, but this thing should be taken care of. The best way is, and also we will be using the webpack, and webpack will take care of that. Anyway, here one thing you need to notice. See, what if actually I'm making another change here, root, and I want to add some title h1 welcome, and do I need to compile again to test? Yes, of course I need to compile, right? So do you want to type this command every time? And do you want to, of course, you will end up, this is not, this is just the average project. Let me show you one. Uh, this is, yeah, see, this is just a simple example, but let me show you one uh, quite like average project contains what kind of files, uh, and how many files you will have, because you can't type commands for that. You will be wasting a lot of time. Okay, so this is React library. You go to components. Okay. Code Sandbox is one website where you will get a IDE as well as a browser. As you type, you can get the output. So you can use it for a prototyping. And this is kind of this is how your project might look like. Do you see here? and webpack config.js package. Yeah, and is a package manager like a npm. Okay, so there are a lot of tools, but it's a choice. It's there are a lot of package managers in fact for nodes, uh, which are actually they they might not be replacement, but they actually compete with npm, and some of them are very good, and is yarn is quite now appreciated, and in fact create react that comes with app, and both package managers does the same like npm node package managers. Okay, here it is using instead of npm it is using app. Okay, so and you know git ignore ESLint is for a uh, configuration for your JavaScript linking, and you can see the public, and here you can see the index.html. And what do you see here in index.html? You see nothing, just same way you will see the root element. Okay, and as you can see here, that is loaded just before the body. Which one is loaded? Index.js. Where is it? Okay, you will see somewhere here index.js. You can see here. Okay, and you can see here the render element sandbox, which is loading the element in the main container. This whole project is in ReactJS. Okay, so this is how ReactJS looks like. And let's say if I go here, if I go, let's say calendar, and let me, okay, let's go here. Uh, yeah, if I see this calendar, here is the code for calendar. What do you see here? Yeah, imports, and you see here, do you see any kind of clumsy get element by ID? Okay, and applying styles. Okay, or class name, tag name, or using query selector. You won't see any of them. This is declarative. A style of syntax allows us to write code effectively, and it works better with fast and productive development, and it also fast due to the virtual DOM, and it is actually effective in updating uh, data at the end time according to the changes. Anyway, this is, you see, what is this? This is a JSX. Can you see? Okay, and this code is what produced this output here. Can you see? Okay, but how is that produced, and how, if I click on something, okay, why you can see the purple there and range selection is there. This whole logic is taken care of there. And so, do you want to, you can provide a directory if you want for the Babel, but you don't want to do all of them manually. See, this is, you want to bundle all these things in a single file. Okay, so why these are all made in a modular fashion. Can you see? Anchor, you have just, and box. See, these are all elements. This is created in a React. In fact, this is a React front-end development framework. Provides the components, visual components for a React library. So this is, and if you want here a box, in fact, you can combine and you can write all of these components. Everything is component here. Layer is component, paragraph is component. Okay. So here, just like element here, by using this library, you will be using these components instead of elements. So those components with some benefits. Props and state we will see in a moment. The as we are as we are going step by step, we'll see in some time what are props, what is state, how to pass props, and how to maintain state, how to change state, those all those. But do you understand, we can put all those things in a single index.js single file, but that is not modular. And if you want to edit something related to table, where do you go? You will go to table instead. Yeah, this is a big project. This is a big project, and you will see here different components in different modules, the different files. And if it is even a big project, you will see here different folders even organized by. And that is what here explained React directory structure, even provided by React file structure. You can see ReactJS itself provided some guidelines for the file structure. You see, if it is a very big project, if you have a components or helper modules that are used by every other modules, you might actually want to put them in a separate folder common. And if it is related to feed, for suppose if it's your social media website, and think of that as if it is a social media, and feed related you will put in a feed, and profile related you will put in a profile, or you can group according to what their purpose, API related in API, and components you will put in components, like that. Okay, do you get it? So here simply all of them are components, and they are just placed inside a source directory, and we have separate file. But once it is bundled, okay, you won't see individual files. All of them are created as a one bundle.js. So you don't want to do this extra overhead every time using your own hand. You will be wasting a lot of time, and developer time is very important, crucial, so that you can use that time for to create more wonders. So for that reason, we use what is called webpack. What is webpack? Webpack is a bundler. It bundles, and it is a like a, it does more than a bundling, but at its core it is a bundler, as you can see from its official website also. And you can run different tasks much like a task runner. Okay, so at its core, what is it? It is a bundler. You give all of your dependencies, and it creates a it provides you assets, and we include them there in our code. And so like you can see here some complex webpack configuration, and we will be creating that, and I'll be explaining that in a while. Okay, so for that, I don't want to, the goal is I don't want to. And one thing, what did I do for this folder to be created? What did I do? I did run the Babel to transpile the source file, as well as I copied index.html. If something is they changed in index.html, again I need to copy that into disk, right? But doing so, if something is for suppose while distributing, if you forget to copy that index.html to disk, you will be deploying a old code on a server. So if you are doing these things manually, that is where webpack also will save you. So to create a webpack, what do you need? So just go for a very basic configuration. You can install webpack. If I run, we need a webpack CLI px webpack. Okay, as you can see, if you use, like I explained, if it is not available, if by using web npx, which is a node package executable, and it executes the command from the node module installed. If it is not installed, it will prompt us to install if not available. So such that webpack comes with webpack. Hello, webpack comes with there is a webpack CLI as well, so that you can use. If you run this webpack, sorry, npx webpack, which will transpile your code, our code. But as you can see here, by default, webpack comes with no configuration, zero configuration mode, where you can use modes development and production. On the production, it does lot of things. Uglifying. What is uglifying? Like I said, so if you go here, if I go to source, page source, what do you see here? Not inspect, page source, and you can see this is quite say pretty, but let's say and what is it? You can see here this whole thing is minified, amplified. Can you see? And this is called minified. If you see code, this whole thing is minified because each space also would cost some of few bits for you, 8 bits. So there are a lot of spaces. It means that you are wasting a lot of bandwidth. So just you can trim if you can trim the lot of spaces. Potentially you are saving a lot of bandwidth so that these files can load quickly. And here, if I run as it comes with a zero configuration, it is trying to perform the operation, but it is saying it is throwing an error. What error is it throwing? It is throwing. Can you see here error? What is it? You need. Can you see it is very smart? Webpack is very smart enough to suggest something here. You may need a appropriate loader to handle this file type. Currently, no loaders are configured. Process the file. So you can go, you can control click and you can go and check the loaders here. What is loader? So let's go to the webpack side. As you can see here, by default, webpack. Where is webpack? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So webpack handles different types of files, input files, JS, PNG, HBS, SASS, CJS, SAS, JPEG. So thing is that by default it handles the JavaScript, but sometimes it different files, different syntax. What for a webpack to understand what webpack needs a loader. Okay, so who so that is the reason. Can you understand now? Here is trying to pass, but now it is actually fail to understand because it failed to recognize it is a JSX syntax because no such a loader is available. So whose job is to transpile this? This is the Babel job. Okay. So how can I configure Webpack with the Webpack to use the Babel? So we have the Babel loader available. So those different types of you can search this thing npm search Babel or Webpack loader, and it will show us different types of loaders. And we can go to this link as well, and there we can find different loaders as well. Let's try it. It is taking quite a little while. No, no, it's really taking quite time. Okay, let's do one thing. It is taking time. So let's go and check the different loaders available on site. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll explain you those loaders. So what happened? Okay. This is something we get when service is unavailable or service is busy. Okay. So when there is so much load. So let's, I tried again. So let's copy this thing. Copy. Okay. So these are the, see, let me read this thing out, which even explains you a lot. Once the webpack specific feature, one of the webpack specific feature is ability to import any module. Example, even CSS, JPEG files, other things. Files which may not be supported by other bundlers, task runners. What are other bundlers and task runners? Gulp is one thing. This is a task runner, and there is a grunt is there. This is also JavaScript task runner. Okay. So likewise, there are other task runners where we use them to bundle as well as run some automating tasks. Okay, as you can see here, as you can see, create PNG if you want to compress that PNG, and if you have a development type description, you want to transfer them into JavaScript. Card means compiling TypeScript to JavaScript, where the browser can't understand TypeScript. Okay, like those things. These are there are different rich set of what do you say? Task runners bundlers are available, but this is something Webpack is capable of. Task runners. We feel extension of language is warranted, allows the developer to pull more accurate dependency. This is possible, but what do you need for these different modules to be understood by Webpack? What do we need? We need a loaders. So this is how we load. We configure loaders. This Webpack config file is just a pure JavaScript, but we configure things as an object and a key and a property. Okay, and you can see here. Uh, Example features. Okay, so these are all loaders, and you have to install that loader from the npm. And how is it going? Yeah, here it is. As you can see here, so different loaders are for what is the first one? You can see Webpack Babel loader. Okay, so is it a dependency or a development dependency? It is a development dependency because Webpack is here until distributable files are built, until you build your scripts. And Webpack is not required to deploy for this compiled JS or code to be run on a browser. So there are different loaders. You can see here image loader, CSS loader, style loader, file loader. But what do we need? We need just the npm install save dev. We need Babel loader. Okay. So let's create a Webpack config. So how to create? Go to very simple. So here is the example. A simple script, and so bundling this. This is a simple a quick start script, and it just creates takes all files and then bundles them and puts them in a disk directory, and we can load that in our JavaScript public HTML index HTML as a bundle here. That should be placed right above the body. So I'm copying it from here, and then I'll improve that. Okay. So we need to create webpack.config.js in our file, in our project, directory, webpack.config.js. And I pasted this thing. This is just a preliminary basic configuration. Let me remove this this folder I'm removing. Okay, and let me run a npm web. What happened? Is it working? No, it's still not working. I copied, but I haven't loaded that loader. Okay, so that Babel loader. We need a loader for a webpack to understand the JS. So yeah, exact loader, list of loaders you can find. See here, I said Babel loader. Babel loader is what is it? Babel is used as a transpiler, and you want to transfer JSX to Babel is capable of transpiling JSX and React and ECMAScript to the browser installable code, so that we have a JSX. So what do you need? You need a Babel. You are using a Webpack as a bundler, but Webpack doesn't know how to. It can understand. It can load modules, but it needs uh, indirectly it needs to use the Babel to transfer the JSX and the React or even Xmas. So that do we have a just like think of them as a loaders as plugins, but there are plugins for just for understanding. So we have a loader available for the Babel. So we can install that Babel loader. See, I have installed just while ago, and that is here available Babel loader. And but the configuration is not provided here. So how to provide a Babel configuration? We have a quite good uh, documentation available here. So you can go to loaders, or I can search here directly Babel. Okay, see that is available Babel loader, and here it is Babel loader. I just directly jump to the Babel loader. How do you install the Babel loader? Okay, and there is actually web preset env, which is also uh, which is the preset for the Babel to transfer the latest ECMAScript JavaScript. Okay, what are the presets for the Babel? Those are see, preset TypeScript used by Babel to understand the TypeScript. Preset React is used for the by Babel to understand the React and JSX. And to preset env is used by the Babel to understand ECMAScript, any syntax that was introduced after ECMAScript 2015. Okay, so if you are using advanced ECMAScript such as generators, okay, generators, and the latest data types, symbols, and all those things. If you are using imports, exports, classes, extents, you need probably, even if you are using advanced syntax, you need, and those are not available in browser. If those are not available in browser, you need this feature. Basically, those advanced features sometimes are available in Node, but not sometimes they don't make to the browser, because browsers tend to update slow, because you nobody updates very quickly over the night, like nightly tools, or browsers are not updated like. Anyway, so uh, I hope you understood the chain here, that we have Webpack bundler. It is using a Babel loader. Babel loader is not uses the Babel loader is a loader to use the Babel to transfer the JavaScript, TypeScript, React syntax to JavaScript, browser understandable JavaScript. Anyway, so we have, and let's come, and we have this, where is this? Yeah, Babel loader. And once it is installed, here is the usage. We have a rule, okay? This is module, okay? So this is how loaders are configured. Do you understand? Don't be confused here. This is just a pure JavaScript file and this is just a object. You know object. How do you object contains properties, properties and values separated by colon. This is just a object, but that is also being used as a configuration file. That is our and so these are examples. So, but it should come within this global configuration inside modules.export. Each one comes as a one entry. So I copied this thing, and here this it is readily available to try to take up. I'll explain you this step by step in a moment. What it does, what is going on. Okay, I'll explain you step by step. So I copied that. Let me put it here. Okay. So what is going on here? So these are, see, I can minimize this. You can see here required path. This is in a Node.js. Yeah, it is this webpack is run by the Node.js. It doesn't go to the browser. It is run by the Node.js. Node.js runs that and reads that and executes that and through Node.js using the library webpack. We are using the package webpack through Node.js. We are transpiling or bundling our project. So what is entry point? Entry point should be a single file. So here you can see here our entry point is simple one. Entry point is something which loads the initial one, and from there recursively we our whole project is loaded. Do you understand? Okay. So this is the entry point in index.js. So that is our entry point. And where do you want to put the output? I want to put path.result dir name stands for current directory. Here, what is current directory? If I go to node, you can see here. If I type node, can you see here? Uh, okay, that is a special variable which is loaded with the current directory. Okay. So that is this dir name would result in hello app. Okay. Just let me exit. If okay, just thing is that you can also use the console.log. Let me put a console.log. Console.log of dir name and file name. Okay, I'll give file name also. And if I save and if I can run node webpack or this, and you can see here the directory is printed. Can you see here? Okay. So what is this dir name which will spit out, which contains the current directory name? Hello app, which means that this project directory, and file name is the file that is being executed. Okay. So here in that dir directory, we want to put everything in a dist folder. Okay. So this will create the dist folder if available, and if not, it will not create. Sorry. It will create a dist folder if not available, otherwise it will ignore and it will put files into that. And what is the output bundle? You want it to be named bundle.js. Okay, and here it is. When you are taking you need, so these modules, this is just a configuration. What is the entry point? Where do you want to put? And then here it comes actual thing, module. It you can have multiple modules separated by comma here. So such as a low processing JavaScript, one module entry. Okay, these are rules. Okay, so one for processing JavaScript, one for processing TypeScript, one for processing say CSS like that. Okay. So here you can see here Babel loader used. This is it might make sense this file now. Anyway, let's go here. What is going on modules? These are rules. Okay. What are these rules? You are telling this is again minimize this. What are these rules? And it contains different rules. Okay. You can see here rules contains the object list of objects. Rules is a list of objects, and we have what is this test? It will it will check for a JS files, all JS files in our directory. Okay, so I don't want m stands for minified and .js. Okay, and since in our project we don't have any minified files, and we can delete all of we can delete them, and it means what is slash slash. If you haven't learned, we JavaScript has a regular expression type. Okay, so if you're not aware, regular expression is a pattern which will match across different uh, regular expression is a pattern which is used to match the particular string, sentence, paraphrase, or anything. So JavaScript has a regular expression. Let me tell you. Let me node. Sorry, regex. So not this is the one. Okay. So this type you can create a regex by creating an object from this one, or you can use a literal syntax to create a regular expression. For suppose writing pattern inside two forward slashes. For suppose I'll give you heads on a regular expression. Uh, Regular expression. The Chrome has some regular expression. Uh, Not extension. Just give you what is regular expression to. Yeah, here is the regex matches. Okay, so add to Brave. Yeah. So let's put something. Uh, Hello React. What? Testing. Are you learning? Hey Bob. Is it good? Okay. So I want to match something in this whole string. Okay, you can see here in a JavaScript, in a literal syntax we write that thing in between slashes. So what do I want to match? If you write simply alive, it will match the single word matches the exact thing. But I want to match alive only. So I want to match the alive only for bang exclamatory mark is there. Okay, so it matches. Okay, see it is matching after bang, but I want to match. Let's say I want to match all words that start with G and end with D or a P. How do you match them? Go. Okay, this is a syntax. Okay, what is happening here? This is a pattern we gave here, So this is a character set cheat sheet. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail about will this is very powerful, very powerful. How to use these classes, groups, backward referencing, all these things about regular expressions we'll see. But here you can see uh, \w means match anything, any character, any non-space character. You can see here, including anything which is alphabet or number. Okay, and I want I and please you can match plus means these alphanumerics can be one or many. Okay, so these should be the first letter and followed by any number or a alphabet. Should end with the D. Okay, and optionally or should end with the P. Okay, so if or if it should end with P, so you see you are matching. If it is optional, you see it matches good and it matches group as. Okay, so it is not showing the multi flag. Anyway, that is quick introduction in what is the regular expression, what it does, for you to understand. So same thing is happening. So dot means actually dot has a special meaning. Let's say if I type r dot t, it will match React. Can you see? Okay. What dot means? Dot means basically match anything. Any character, anything. Okay, except these things, except new line, carriage return, except this, match anything. But in a regular expression, you don't. If you want to, what if you want to literally match the dot? Okay, so I have a index.js. If I type and I have something called here something called add.js. So if I type .js, what happens? It is matching add.js. No, I want to match literally dot. In such a case, we use escape character \. So if you put a backslash before the special symbols lose their specialness. They are no longer so special, so they will be just a normal character. So if you want to make a special meaning to the normal character, we use the backslash again. So like n is a normal character, but if you put a backslash, which becomes a new line. So same way, no, I want to match literally the dot. So I don't want this dot to be used as a pattern to match any character, and I don't want this to be treated as a special character. So backslash is used in front of that, such that uh, so it literally matches the .js. So this is what happened here. I want this webpack to test and check all .js files available. Okay, so dollar means end, caret means starting. Okay, so this caret, if I type okay, you can see caret matches the starting of the line. Okay, so dollar matches the end of the line. Okay, so dollar means end. So which means that I don't want see the you might have a extension file extension with as a JSS JSX. Okay, so you don't want those files to be loaded. Do you understand? So if there might be extension file extension JSX or JSS, we don't know what files extensions contain JS and followed by JS something. You don't want to load them. I want to load exactly all JS files so that making sure it is end and it contains it doesn't match if any file has anything after yes, it doesn't it just ignores that. And while loading all those files in the project, exclude these two folders. Why? Why do these node modules are dependencies? You don't want to process them. You are using them, right? I don't want webpack to middle with them, so I don't want to webpack to search those folders. So just exclude them. Now this use syntax use contains a loader. What to use? Babel loader. And what presets you are giving presets for Babel? What preset? React but React env is not available, which is ECMAScript preset. Including that, what else you need? You need @Babel preset React. Okay. So now go on. What happens? npx webpack. Okay. Now you see it is complaining. How many errors? Warnings are something you don't have to bother. Just but you have to notice them. But errors are something. If you see an error, you have to take care of that for this task to finish. So it is complaining that I'm trying to use Babel preset env, but it's not available. Yes, we haven't installed that. So let's go and install that one. npm install save dev @Babel. And what is preset? React or env. It's a preset here. Okay, and now try to run npx webpack. Yeah, you see here it auto loads the webpack from the current directory and processing that, and now created that bundle. You can see here now bundle.js. Can you see here it does in fact it is doing a lot than just minifying, sorry, transpiling. It minified and created all dependencies, everything created this. So remote spaces such that we store a lot of bandwidth while sending this file over the internet. Okay. So, and also it created some to save the bandwidth, created licenses To save the bandwidth, created licenses.txt. Of course, these licenses should be installed, provided there in uh, that bundle.js, but what this Babel did, webpack did and created separate file about the different libraries licenses. Okay, so uh, give me a moment. So let me have a water break. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm back. So yeah, we have this. No, do you see the magic here with bundle.js? Okay. Uh, so see, of course to transfile bundle everything. You see, one thing you need to understand while actually minifying, it will also replace the variable names. Do you understand this? Okay, so let me format this thing with in a format document. Okay, and do you see here, even though it is minified, do you see this meaning? All these variables do, are those make sense? They don't make sense, right? So of course, if you have a meaningful variable names, all of them are actually translated to one character, one letter variable name, such that even bandwidth can be saved, such that this file can be loaded as fast as possible, such that users can experience no latency, and they can feel like a web page is loaded with no, just like a snap. So okay, so we have this HTML, but I want to copy this. Of course, I'm loading, but on extra action, I'm doing copying this and pasting that in a disk. I don't want to do that. I want to automate that as well. So let's actually put this bundle first here and test if it is working. Script src bundle.js and okay. Let's test this thing if our bundle is working. Copy path, go paste. Yeah, it's working. But what happens? Our React element is not being loaded. What happened with that? Go to console. What do you see? You load. Okay, there's a bundle. Minified React error said. Uh-huh. See, it doesn't make sense. Error doesn't make sense. I don't know what is happening. And if I go to sources and if I check the bundle, even I mean, after prettified that, you can see it doesn't make sense. These variables don't make sense. They are intentionally made of one-letter variables. To make the file size small as possible. You can see how much is the file size here? 132 KB, right? Okay, it would have been a lot of if it is not minified. So yeah, because each space takes 8 characters, because you can go and ASCII and even space. What is a space? How space is stored? Space is stored as like this. Can you see here in binary? Even it takes in ASCII or in Unicode, it also takes 8 bits. If you have thousands of spaces, thousands of bits are wasted. And without that is where that is how also compression works. So when you compress the file, it removes unnecessary, and there is a lossy and lossless compression. It actually creates takes anything that can be reproducible, that can it will actually remove that, and it will encode everything using a less number of bits, and that can be reproduced later. Anyway, so this kind of since we are compressing, we don't need spaces, we are compressing by removing spaces because they don't add any value, even if they are available or not. So that thing we are doing, but see, during development, I don't want that thing to happen. Why? In my browser, I'm not able to debug here. So where is error? What is happening? And we have the extension, manage extensions, React. Let me add a React. Remember, we learned about React, right? React developer tools. Add this to Brave. So this is available for Chrome, Brave, and is also available for Firefox. And the thing is that I'm not able to use that extension here, React developer tools here as well. Thing is that I can't debug. I don't know where to put the breakpoint. I can't read the error message, and intentionally some of the error console log messages are removed, because console log, you don't want this verbose logs to be present on server, so on a production. So we use logs for during development, so they can also be removed using the bundling process. So we can add a mode, something called in a webpack, something called mode. So during development, we don't want to minify, amplify, and do all those optimization. So we want to provide the mode. So is it a development or production? So if it is a development, during development, mode development. So it doesn't perform those optimization. So let's do the webpack, npx webpack again. Now if you go and check the bundle.js, okay, don't save. Yeah, now can you see here? Hello. Yeah, can you see it is better here now? Okay. So those lot of optimizations are not done. Whatever is that webpack does for this is also not completely minified. You can see here. Okay. So and those variable optimizations you won't see here. Can you see here? Do you see those optimizations? The TEXN, something like that. If you want to understand the code, you want a meaningful variable name. Do you get it? Yeah, of course, this is minified but not uglified. So what you have seen is totally minified and uglified version. But you can see here variable names, but the spaces, extra spaces are removed, and it is not completely uglified. And it is no Webpack didn't do any production optimizations, such as replacing variables with single letter, single character, doing other removing console logs or other things. Now, if I can go now, let's check our React app. Refresh this thing, reload. Now, do you see meaningful message here? Can you see here meaningful message? Can you see the difference while ago and now? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So here it is saying nothing was returned. Yeah, returned from that is error, and it is suggesting us download React Dev Tools for better development experience. I have actually introduced you to the development tools, but we haven't used that development tool set. Okay, since it is a file, it is not, since it is saying it is restricted browser page because it is a file, directly file loaded from the server, and we need to run the local server and such that we can use. So React Dev Tools we have. Let's go and fix that thing. What is that? Where is this? Where is that? Index.js. We need to return. Where is the return statement? Do you get it? Okay, now return. Save. Now I have to run the webpack again. Remember this. See, as a developer, if you are doing something repetitively, you need to think twice. Do you have any way to optimize that workflow and save some time? What I am doing here repetitively, npx webpack, because I changed something, and now I have to go and recompile again, transpile, and wait for some time. This is a small project because it is going like this, but for a big project, if you are compiling all of files, sometimes it might take a couple of minutes, and it can go on sometimes. So in such a case, you don't want to compile the whole project. You want to compile only change file. So you can't sit and actually browse through what are the changes, and you can't pick the files specifically and compile them because it even costs you a lot of. But so what? So something I feel like it would be great if I don't have to type npx webpack. So I feel like it would be great if webpack magically knows after I save some file. Webpack, I feel like it would be great if webpack can understand and when to compile and whenever I say. Okay, let's see if we can do that. But keep that in your mind. But you might feel same way, right? If you are doing this same task over and over again. So, but we fixed that thing. Let's check. Is it working? It's working. Let's go and change this prop. Okay. So you can use style. The other day I have given you here. You can use style as see in a JavaScript in JSX we provide a JavaScript expression in a inside curly braces, and I can give color. Okay, red, font, weight. Okay, font, weight, bold. So instead of whenever there is a in a CSS, if there is a hyphen, we use that as a camel case. This is actually font hyphen weight in CSS. But here, hyphen is not a valid identifier that can't be used in a valid identifier. So it is used as a bold. Sorry, camel case. Okay, now save, go and refresh. Do you see any change? Why? It is strange. I made a change, but it is not reflected yet. Why? which one we have to regenerate that again. You see, it is such a pain in our neck. Okay, I have to do it again, go and refresh. This is what it worked. But that is such a pain. And I have to do that again and again. And sometimes you might miss and you can go on round and round in circles. It hasn't changed? Okay, checking why isn't changed. I made right thing, but why isn't reflecting? Why isn't reflecting? And end of the day, after having a tea break, you might find out you haven't compiled. Okay, so we don't want those things. So how can we optimize? But let's see if there is a way. See, I can't. I'm not able to use this since because it is secured browse. Restricted browse page. I can't use this. It would be great if I have server. There is one thing called HTTP star. Okay, so I can install some packages. You can install them. npm install save dev HTTP star. HTTP star is a server, HTTP server, just like a Tomcat. So you can use them for a development. You can use HTTP star. Okay, this is globally available, so it is serving webpack. I don't want this thing to be okay. I don't want this thing to serve the whole directory. We can pass what to serve. HTTP star disk directory. Can you see? Can you see? I'm giving this HTTP star is a server command line. Okay, which is a command line program. So it takes the argument directory as an argument and it will serve all those files. So now this whole thing is being served. Okay, it is not taking that. Just give me a moment. Let's check the help. Okay, one thing you can provide the directory, or you see here there is a directory option. Okay. We can pass the command line arguments HTTP star directory disk, and you can give the port 33 port, which port 80881. Let's give 8081. Now go there. Just open a new tab, localhost. What is localhost? Or 127.0.0.1, which is like calling yourself your name, which is a loopback special IP address, which refers to the same system. Okay, 127.0.0.1 is a special IP address which refers to the same system. So you are referring the same system, your PC itself, and on which port that server is running 8084. Okay, sorry. So some other application was running on 8081. So let me close this thing. Close this and 8088. Okay. And now check this. Localhost is a domain name for the 127.0.0. Okay. 8088. Can you see? Hooray. You can see our work. Now, can you see source? Of course, you can see it is not totally minified. It looks better now, much better. But it would be great if I can see my index.js. Where can I see that? You can see this, right? Okay, index.js. Can you see? Can you see here? Index.js that was translated, transpiled. Okay, you can see here is your code. Hello, React from Wizard. But it would be great if I can see my file as a JSX itself. Okay, But let's see what can I do here. It is working now. Since I loaded this thing from server, not as a file, this is not in a something like like this here. This is not a restricted browser page. Since it is a file itself, the browser React developer tool doesn't have access to this file, so it can't work. But since it is low, I loaded it from server. Now it can, you see here, click and React developer tools, which is active. Now it is red. Can you see here? These extensions can change the, see? So this is the information from the browser, but you can see here it is working. So if it is working, you will see two things, components and profiler. If you go to components, can you see here? Only one component you see here, hello message. And what props do you see here? No props. Okay, no state. Okay, so we'll see, we'll get into the state and props in a while. Okay, so now let's go and change something here. I want another here, go to index.js. Okay, I want to, during this hello, I want to pass the message prop. So which message is it displaying? Hello React wizard wall. Okay, so hello React, are you really that amazing? So this is a message. Okay, I saved this. Go and refresh the server. So it didn't reflect. Why? Why? We have to compile first, right? Isn't it? So let's go and compile. Okay. See, in a VS Code, you can have multiple shells. Okay. So this shell I now let's compile. How do you compile? npx webpack. Sorry. npx webpack. Okay. Okay, done. Go and refresh. Is it working? I compiled. It's not working. Why? I'm not using that here. Okay, I need to use the prop. How do you use the prop? So any JavaScript expression goes like this. This dot prop dot message. Now save. Go and refresh. Again, I made the same mistake. I have to compile. Go, refresh. Yeah, it's working. But of course, I'm running server. So what do I need? Okay, like I felt, I need a way to cut down this, compiling again and again. I don't want this to be, hassle, during development. And I want a server where, if it is a server, I can go and I can select the element, I can see the props. You see, if you change this prop here, you can change the prop, delete, and you see this that is reflected here, right? Got it? Okay, so how to debug all those things? So for that we have something called, in a webpack we have something called development server. Okay, development. Okay, this is called webpack development server, and this is something. So what it does, it will run. What it does, it will compile whenever there is a change in the folder. It will create a list whenever there is a change, and it will auto reload your files in the browser. You don't have to refresh the browser itself. Remember, while I'm doing, you might not have noticed if there is a change. Of course, I have to refresh this, right? Come here and reload. And I was using the shortcut. Unless you refresh here in also browser, it will not reload. But of course, that is also an extra action. I have to compile, come back to browser and refresh. All those things we can get from the webpack development server. So what is configuration for a webpack development server? So first we have to install webpack development server. Okay. Yeah, here. No, yeah, of course you can use using Nodemon. What Nodemon does, again checks the changes in a file, but if it is for the node. But here you need assistance where Webpack knows what files to check. Your Webpack knows transpiling. If you use the Nodemon doesn't know that it has to transpile the JSX. Nodemon doesn't know it has to bundle. Okay, Nodemon doesn't know where to check. All those things. Do you get it? Okay, the Nodemon can give a file, and of course, it might extension of that file. If there are imports, it might check them. But thing is that here we are using Webpack. It is like add-on. It will combine. We are using we are augmenting the power. So along with that jobs it is doing, it also does the runs the development server so that it can it can provide the hard reloading as well as compiling and development server. Okay, so how do you install this thing? You will install this npm install webpack dev server. And what is the configuration here? This is a package.json. Okay, so what is the configuration? Where is this? Okay, this all thing, if you want, you can go, you can serve using webpack serve command. You can serve, which means that run the development server. Okay, so here is the development, yeah, dev server. Here it is. Again, you can actually bundle other tools like source mapping you can use, and you can also we can also provide other you see inline source map, which means that which maps our direct source which is in our local file system. You will see all that source uh, in a browser source panel. Okay, we will see that in a moment. Let me install that development server. Okay, and check. Let's check. Is it installed? Hmm. Hmm. So we need to provide the configuration here, dev server. And so you want to serve the static. Static means serve the static. Which directory? This. Okay. It is a minimal setup. And now we can run web webpack sorry config webpack serve. And where is it? It is available there now. 8080 running. And if you want different port, we can provide a port here. I don't want 8080 port 8085. Let me rerun this. Okay. Now let's go to 80.127.8085. It's working. Okay. It's working now. And you can see the source. You can see for directory, you can see no modules, you can see index.js. Okay, source mapping is not done, you don't see that. Right? You can see the components, if you select, you can see the props. Okay, now let's do a change. What it does, let's do a small change. Instead of red, just put the blue. Save. Do you see it recompiled again? Okay, now go back to our, do you see it recompiled and reloaded our page? I haven't reloaded using a control R, command R shortcut. Okay. So you see this, let me show you this thing. Okay. This is how development goes. Okay. Okay. Now from blue to gray and just change. Do you see left side reloaded? Okay. Or color use RGB. You know how to, what is first one? Red. CF, yeah, G, green. And blue, just do a little bit of blue. Okay. And just save. You see, there's so much red, so it is displayed like that. And just reduce the red, and you see different color. Okay. Or reduce red at all and increase green. You see? So webpack is bundler, does more than just bundling your files, and this whole potential is at your fingertips. And now do you understand here what happens, what is going on, so how Node.js is helping speeding up your development? Same thing, but you are actually tells you write a better code, modular code, and using that advanced semantics, syntax, and different, like you can write the code in your CoffeeScript or TypeScript, and you can, but browser don't understand them. You have to use, why do you use TypeScript? Why do you use CoffeeScript? TypeScript you would use for type safety and other syntax that is not available in JavaScript. But end of the day, even though if you write something in TypeScript, but it has to be JavaScript for browser to understand. But for that, you use bundlers, task runners. But one of the popular one which is available out there is Webpack, and so it is at your fingertips, and all you have to do is configure. But of course, as you start, you may not know how to start with configuration, how to write this. But thing is that for everything you will find examples out there in website. Start with the minimal configuration setup that is available in the home page and go on according to your needs. Just take the example configuration and improve that according to your understanding and needs. And this is about what? Yeah, so there is a learning curve. Definitely, there is a learning curve. But once you learn, uh, it really pays off during development. Okay, so this is about learning tools during the journey of learning learning React. So uh, so we learned webpack, using webpack and using npm, and what is Babel and how to use, and uh, different commands, and how to use hard reloading, and we will see a couple of things and couple of magics that you can do using webpack in a comment session, and then we will improve this app. Okay, I hope you understand this session and you enjoyed this session.